What's going on, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video... Excuse me. Back up. You are in my bubble. Can you sit down, please? Sit. Thank you. Thank you. I love you very much. Here, lay down. Okay, this is not gonna work. Okay, I had to put him away for a little bit, but today's video is all about day 4 of Seth's hair transplant journey. This is editing Tana right now because I realized when I was going over all of the footage that I mostly got a lot of B-roll, and that's because this day was gonna be super crazy and super long. The night before, we actually packed up all of our bags because we were planning to take our luggage and stuff with us. Well, not luggage, we only had carry-on bags, but we had to take all of our stuff with us whenever we went to the clinic because after the clinic, they were supposed to drop us off at the airport. So first thing we did that day was we woke up, we got breakfast, we took all of our stuff with us, and we headed to the clinic for Seth to get his hair wash. I believe this was it was supposed to be the second wash, but because we had went in the previous night, he technically got like 3 washes. So after Seth got his hair washed, we were supposed to head to the airport, but I think we were kind of like ahead of schedule or something. I don't really know what happened. We had a few hours to waste, and instead of us sitting at the clinic, they just sent us back to the hotel. We had already checked out of our room, so they had to check us into another room, and I think we were in there for maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours, which gave us a little bit of time to nap. I totally was not even expecting to nap, but I guess we were still so exhausted from the traveling and just like constantly doing things that we fell asleep. And then we woke up to the front desk calling us to let us know that our car was there ready to take us to the airport. But just kidding, we didn't go to the airport. We actually had another person in the car with us, and they were traveling home that day as well, but they didn't get their head washed yet. So instead of us going straight to the airport, we had to go back to the clinic with him. We stayed in the car while he went and got his hair washed and all of that. That was about 15 to 20 minutes. So we were just kind of sitting there with all of our stuff. And then once he was done, then we were traveling to the airport. So there was a lot of confusion going on that day. And I just was not in the mindset to pick up the camera and vlog anything. But it was really cool because this guy that we met, he was from the UK. We were talking a lot about our currency, and it was really fascinating to, I guess, hear his thoughts and opinions about our currency. We even traded some money. So he gave us £1 and we traded for a $1 bill. So I thought that was really cool. We brought it back to show the kids. But once we got to the airport, it was just a lot of getting through the crowds, going through passport checks and luggage checks and all that kind of stuff. We found some food and went to some of the gift shops to try and find souvenirs for the kids. And this is where things took a turn for the worst. Right after we left one of the gift shops, Seth got a phone call from an unknown number. He answered it, and it was someone claiming to be from our bank, and they were asking if we had recently tried to cash a check for $20,000, and we were like, absolutely not. That was not us. At first, we were kind of sketched out by the call because first off, it came from an unknown number. It came to us when we were out of the country after we had just purchased an item, like literally 2 seconds after we had purchased something, he got a phone call. So we were like, is this even real right now? So Seth continued talking to this person, and they said that they were going to transfer him to the fraud department since we claimed that it wasn't us. Well, while he was on hold, I was like, what if this is a scam? Don't fall for that. How about just hang up the phone and call the lady that we know at our bank? Now, because we had a 7-hour time difference, we didn't even know if she was going to be there. We didn't know if she was going to answer, but thank goodness she did. So we told her everything that happened, and she pulled up our account, and sure enough, someone had stolen $20,000 out of our business account. How they even got away with that, I have no idea, because whenever we go onto our account, we can see the check. First off, it had the business name spelled wrong. The name on there didn't match anything on our accounts. The signature didn't match anything, and I think that's what prompted them to call us in the beginning. They said that the signature didn't match what was on file, but like literally nothing matched. It should have been flagged and it never should have been cashed in the first place. So I personally think that it was like an inside job or something. Someone at that bank has to get fired. So Seth and I were in disbelief. They immediately froze the account, did the whole claim thing or whatever, and we got our money back within like a couple days. Actually, I think it was like the very next day. While we were still out of the country, we had to set appointments for when we got back to change our whole entire bank account, and just, it was a lot. So even though we were kind of like panicking inside, we knew that everything was getting handled, so it kind of lifted a huge weight off of us, and we were able to continue our travels a little bit less stressed. Honestly, like thinking about it, I still cannot believe that that even happened. People are wild. But a few hours later, we were on our first flight back home. First flight of the day, leaving Istanbul.
This is the last flight of the day.
Well, technically, first and last flight of the day, because our next flight doesn't leave until Friday. Tomorrow. But this is our first flight of the day. We're leaving Istanbul, Turkey to Frankfurt, Germany. And yes, I have to say it with an accent.
Germany.
I said Frankfurt, Germany.
Oh my god.
We left Istanbul and made it to Germany later that night. As soon as we got there, we were kind of in a rush to find something to eat before everything closed, because this night we were gonna have to spend the night in the airport. That was a first for me, never done that in my life. I was a little freaked out. Seth and I were trying to find a way to waste time, so we ended up watching a movie and then quickly realized that the airport had freaking mice. As soon as you would sit down and just be still for like 5 minutes, the mice would come out and they were just all over the airport. It was kind of cute at first, and we even decided to try and feed them. But once we realized, oh shoot, we have to sleep here, I kind of got grossed out. What the hell? Alright, that was a close one. We were planning to sleep in these chairs, but now that we keep seeing mice, I don't know if we're gonna do that. Did you see where the other one went?
My book bag, I guess.
It might be in Seth's book bag. I don't know. I saw one run that way. We're watching the terminal. We're the only ones in the airport right now. We're gonna try and sleep on this side, but there are literally mice crawling all over the place. So we're gonna go sit at a different gate. Fun fact, earlier I was coming to the bathroom and I walked into the men's bathroom. Like, I went all the way in and I was like, why are there urinals in the women's bathroom? But I was in the wrong bathroom. Anyways, what am I doing? I'm coming in here to take my contacts out because we have about 10 hours until our flight. So I'm gonna take my contacts out because I've been wearing them all day long and I have a major headache right now. Usually when I take my contacts out, I'll feel a lot better. So I think we're gonna go try and find our gate and sit over there and try to sleep. All right, contacts out. Now I need to go pee. I've never had to sleep in an airport before.
Me neither, but hey, it's the first.
And I've never been in an airport this empty. Literally nobody's here.
Besides,
but
there's
us.
one worker and
Where? Oh, I see. Yeah, one worker. There was one guy in the smoking booth earlier.
that was the worker.
Oh. Seth's head is swelling, his forehead and his temples. He can like press on it and leave a little finger imprint in his head. So we gotta keep an eye on that. But we're gonna make our way to where we think our gate is gonna be and just kind of sit there, try to sleep. Maybe we might have to take turns because I don't know if the mice are all the way down here too, or if they're just back there. I don't want mice crawling on me while I'm trying to sleep. So that's where we got food from earlier. Closed now.
The best, so it was okay for them.
Yeah. They have a movie theater here? Well, I mean, nothing's playing, obviously, but
Hollywood.
we could hang out over here. Do you want to? Can we sleep here, though? We might be sleeping in the movies. Only 2 more flights separate us from the kiddos. I'm so excited to get home. I just hate that it's going to be so late when we get back. The flight that we are waiting on right now. We board around like 10 a.m. So it is, what time is it? It's almost 12 o'clock right now. So we have to wait till 10 a.m. That flight is going to be 9 hours. Where are we going?
Playing Top Gun Maverick.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we got the movie working. What I was saying is this flight is going to be 9 hours, and then how long do we have a layover when we get there?
Yeah, it says
Where are we
get
going?
there-
Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago here. We get there a little after 1, like 1:05. Then we've got to go through customs again. Flight leaves at like 6.
I'd rather have a long layover than be trying to rush to get to our next flight. We saw a few people who missed their flight, and it was like this whole ordeal. They were yelling at each other, and I mean, obviously it's not the workers' fault that they missed the flight, you know, but yeah, I don't want to be in that situation, so I'd rather wait than miss the flight. So, but yeah, we have 2 more flights till we get home. I'm so excited. After what felt like forever, it was the next morning. The shops were starting to open up, so Seth and I got up and we went and did his first wash. We were supposed to start it at like 9 a.m. So we found a family bathroom and I went in there and helped him wash his head for the first time. Right after that, we went to find some breakfast, which, guys, after we had already gotten our food and everything, we spotted more mice and actually spotted them go into the restaurant that we had gotten food from. I was so grossed out. Next time, if I'm ever in that airport, I think I'm just gonna starve until I find some food from somewhere else. Finally, we were on flight number 2 from Germany to Chicago.
Water plane with the balloon in the background. You want to see something cool?
After a long night
The mice.
with the mice in the airport, we are finally on our second flight. 1 more, and then we're back. I can't remember how long our layover was there, but it wasn't very long. We were just still so exhausted at this point. I felt like I was delusional. But we got some Starbucks and waited around for our 3rd flight of the day. This flight was a quick one. We ended up making it back home at like 9 o'clock or something like that.
Barely. In 34 or 5 hours.
I don't want to see another airplane for
I haven't slept decently since we flew into Istanbul.
I know. I just just could not wait to get home to the kids. I was expecting them to be asleep, but when we got home, we had a nice little surprise. They drew us some pictures and put them on the fireplace, and they were actually hiding from us. So that's kind of like our thing. Every time someone comes home, they like to hide, and then we have to try and find them. So we did that and called it a night, and I'm pretty sure Seth and I knocked out so fast that night. Overall, our whole entire experience was awesome. Do I ever want to do it again? I don't know about that. I think the only thing that really got me was the layover in Germany and having to stay in the airport. If it wasn't for that, I think everything else went pretty smoothly. But yeah, current time, it has been 3 weeks since Seth got his hair transplant, so I think today we are going to film an update video. If you guys have any questions about the whole experience, his hair transplant, the traveling, any of that, drop a comment down below. I'm gonna ask on Instagram as well, and then maybe we'll throw in like a Q&A. I don't know, I'll figure it out. But yeah, that was pretty much it for day 4. Not a whole lot happened. It was just another very long travel day. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!